Hi, friends. My name's host Eric, and if you know anything about me, you know I ask the hard-hitting questions. I'm not afraid to hit hard with my questions. Today's hard-hitting question is cheese our real manifest destiny? My guess is yes, probably, or no, one of the two. That answers that. We can move on to the next topic anytime now. Now that I've addressed the cheese question, which is an important one. Nobody's disputing that. Nobody's disputing that it was important I address that first. And I did. That's why it's in the title. Is cheese our real manifest destiny? The answer is either yes, no, or maybe. Somewhat or kind of. Depends on who you ask, I guess. You guys are asking me hard questions. I don't know the answer to these kind of questions. Why do you ask me such hard questions? I'm gonna open up this blind to let a little bit of light come in. It's a little something I call the light of day. It freshens up the darkest hollow and moistens up the driest rock. I'll tell you what moistens up my dry rocks. A little someone called Rachel Lapalosa. Anyways, I talked to her earlier. I said, hey, Rachel, you know what? You're right. I'm going to have to contain my enthusiasm a little bit because there's lots of people in the world who don't have that special relationship someone, and they might be feeling bad to see you so wallowing in it. Sarah ISFP, I am sorry to hear that. We're nearly 2 minutes in. You should have gotten that notification a minute and 53 seconds ago. So I am terribly sorry that you missed the first minute and 53 seconds of this. I will admit it was probably the best minute and 53 seconds, the whole thing. So, you know, let's get physical. Physical. I want to get physical is how it goes in the original song Chasing Dude. If you want to get metaphysical, you're going to have to look to a different Pat besides Pat Benatar. I would suggest Reassuring Pat. Reassuring Pat is the guy who goes around and, well, he gives people reassuring pats. Anyhow, I woke up from my nap and I was going to go take another nap. And I said, you know what? No, Eric, no. You're not going to take another nap. You're going to go inside. You're going to watch some basketball and you're going to eat some lunch. You're going to have a non-alcoholic beer. And then I sat down here and started live streaming. So that showed me, I guess. It's good follow through, Eric. Good follow through. So anyway, cheese is the ultimate manifest destiny of America. It was never go west, young man. It was always make cheese, young man. But people weren't always being honest about that in the history books. I'm tired of the anti-cheese propaganda ruining our nation. Okay. You want to smoke this bong rip now? No showed us also now, didn't you? And did you dream of no-nos? I don't remember what I dreamed of. I did have some dreams. I don't remember of what. I'm glad to hear that, Rachel. That's a good sign. If you've got cheese around your bed, you're doing something right. And that's a good rule of thumb. That's a good part. That would be a good presidential slogan as well. If you've got cheese around your bed, you're doing something right. So I'm fully, deeply immersed in which in medical circles known as the cycle of Mia. And the cycle of Mia is one in which you feel kind of Mia, and then you get up and you smoke some bar rips, and you feel a little less Mia for a while. But then, like an hour later, you feel even more Mia. So you take another nap. You get up, repeat. Thank you for loving me, Rachel LaPalosa. I thank you from the bottom of my heart because you are my precious bucket filled with precious jewels set in precious gold rings. MPNX, I gotta tell you, I do drink that much. However, I only drink non-alcoholic beer. I'm what you might call a non-alcoholic. I don't drink regular beer. So if you're saying don't drink so many non-alcoholic fluids, I would ask, well, why not? What's wrong with drinking plenty of non-alcoholic fluids? Isn't that better than drinking alcoholic fluids? If you're saying don't smoke that much, are you saying I'm not smoking enough? I agree. Let's smoke another bong rip. Ferrets are lactose intolerant, but in the old days, people thought drinking from a bowl of milk that ferrets drank from could cure whooping cough. See, I would think that drinking a bowl of ferret milk would cure whooping cough. Okay? If you were to drink an entire bowl of ferret milk, actually, let's make the ferret milk into a cream dressing for my deviled egg salad. What is Gaia Pongo? I don't know what that is. You got me. I am confused about that myself. I don't know what that is. So anyway, how to get INTP girl as ENTJ? She pretends not to like me, doesn't talk to me first. He's awkward around me, making fun of me, argue just to hear me. It's a good question, MPNX. You're an ENTJ, she's an INTP, and she's having a little TINE fun at your expense. Yeah, I got you. It was a typo. I understand, MPNX. Okay, well, INTP girls have very little SE of their own. So if you're expecting her to make some sort of move or make it obvious to you, she probably won't. You just got to go and say, hey, what would you think if I told you I wanted to kiss you? And then she says, tee, like that. That's what you say. Just go like, how would you respond if I told you I wanted to kiss you? Make it hypothetical like that. I'm not saying I do want to kiss you. I'm just saying, if I did say I wanted to kiss you, what would you hypothetically say in response? And then when she goes, oh, I'd say you should just go ahead and do it. Then you just kiss her. If she goes, tee, then you just kiss her. If she goes, no, dude, no, then don't kiss her. Okay? It's like that. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. First, you plan to take her on ice skating. Boo. That's a good way to bruise a girl's bottom. Let me tell you. You want to bruise an NTP's bottom, take them ice skating. Is that your goal? Your goal is to provide first aid to her bottom after you bruised it? That's just going to happen. She is going to bruise that bottom. You're good at teaching. I bet you are. Oh, let me put some balm on your bruised bottom, little missy. NTPs can't ice skate. MPNX, we don't want to be taught how to ice skate. We're just going to hurt ourselves. Okay, well, you can get her one-on-one. Go play mini golf, for God's sakes. Mini golf is perfect. Miniature golf is perfect. Okay, and here's why. First of all, it's very low likelihood of injury. Okay, because otherwise, you take an NTP someplace like injury-inducing, they're going to get injured. Okay, little chance of energy with miniature golf. Okay, miniature golf plus. You can always link into the classic with miniature golf Karate Kid. Well, you might have to drive a little distance to get your miniature golf, you know. You can always make Karate Kid references when you go to miniature golf. It's what both Cobra Kai would do and what Miyagi-Do would do is take her mini golfing. So that's what I'm going to recommend. I couldn't pick better company as far as advisors on dates than both Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do. So I'm still going to preach the advantages of mini golf. Plus, you can always do this one. Here, let me show you how to swing the thing, you know? Swing the club. And then you get right behind her and you push up against her and you go, no, more like this. Ooh la la, you say as you swing the club. And then she melts in your arms. Oh, MPNX, she says, you're so romantic. Smoochy, smoochy, smoochy. Just like that. Okay, that's how it's going to go down, MPNX. That's how it's going to go down. That's what you want to have happen, huh? Why are INTP dudes so incompetent at romance? Because they got SE Polar. Sean, that's why. That's why MPNX is going to make it happen with my plan. Hambo's got a fun activity. Let's hear what Hambo's fun activity is. Oof. ENTJs kind of have a reputation for inviting someone over for a dinner and cooking something sophisticated as fine wine, don't they? Cook for us at the table with nice things like candles. Go to Terrence McKenna Wikipedia and read the stoned ape part. It's about how humans evolved to eat mushrooms. That sounds pretty wackadoodle. I received a playback error on your page, refreshed, and there I was. Cook in your parents' kitchen then. Whip up an egg white omelet with green stuff on it, and you're good to go. Sprinkle some green stuff on it, it becomes fancy. You know, my dad had a dinner the other night when we went out to dinner, and it was like gumbo or something. But you could tell it was fancy because they sprinkled green stuff around the bowl. I also like to be the dungeon master, though. I'm ENTP. I'm a fan of being dungeon master. Don't worry, plenty of total bums out there with more girls than they know what to do with. Oh. I was like, wait a second. That's not reassuring. Yeah, do what I said, MPNX. Take a mini golfing. Teach her how to swing her club. Why don't you take her maxi golfing then? Just ask her. But regardless, take her maxi golfing. If you don't have any mini golf around, do you have any maxi golf around? You get like a 3-par. You can take her to a 3-par and just maxi golf. Golf isn't popular in your country. How about disc golf? You have a disc golf course, you can take her frisbee golfing. One way or another, we're going to have to get golf in the mix. Okay, how about this? How about you go to her house and surprise her by setting up a golf course inside of her house for miniature golf, and then force her to play it. You know, you've got yourself a date there. Humans leave the jungle in Africa because it shrinks. Follow large herds of cattle. Bugs in the dung of cattle are ate by humans. Shrooms grow in dung. Humans eat shrooms. And what? Magically become humans? Shrooms give humans super eyesight and big peepees. Oh. Why? Is that Terence McKenna's theory? That's pretty funny. Bacon. We found you finding bacon. Here you are. You have been found by finders. 100,000. Bowling. Okay, hey, you know what? Champion X, whatever your name is, bowling is not a bad idea. Billiards acceptable too, but I think bowling is better. I agree. Now look, you can still do the "let me show you how to do it, sweetie" thing, right? You know, you go upset. No. Let's pretend you're French, okay? Listen to me, mademoiselle. You gotta go like this. Oh, oui. And you go right behind her and you put your arm under her arm like that, yeah. And and then next time she comes, not tennis, bacon. No. You're missing the whole idea here. You need a sport that requires you to show her how to do it, Yeah, you do it with a French. Even if you're not French, you do it with a French accent. Try not to smell French. McKenna also says linguistic truth is an illusion and language was invented so people could lie. Invented by whom? Who was motivated to lie before lying existed to invent language, I wonder. Okay. Hey, my name is Empionek. Your name is Mademoiselle. I'm going to show you how to do bowling American style. Here we go. And then, what you also need to remember to do, of course, is while you're doing this process of courting this girl, you need to throw in periodic ooh la las and also ooh girl, that's how you bring it is a good one. Ooh girl, that's how you bring it. Like that. And you my world. Like that. Okay. Skydiving with a couples parachute. Not a bad idea, Bacon. I like it. Couples parachute, that sounds great. You'd be strapped in together. You, your woman, and the dive instructor. All three of you strapped in together. Sounds like a blast. Well, she's an introvert, Ampianek. You can show her how to be alone together with a man. Okay? Just remember, that's when you really got to up the quantity of oohs, laws, and laws. Just feel like, ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la, until her panties would just melt off her body. She talked to you anyways before leaving. That's a good sign. She said, unless she was saying, stop following me around, in which case, not such a good sign. So look, first of all, ENTJ, INTP, probably not a good match. You really should be an ESFJ. She's attracted to you because you're an interface dominant type, and she's sort of mistaking you for maybe an ESFJ. And once she got angry at someone, and the truth she said was hurtful. Was it cold and hurtful? Yeah, t-shirt yoga. Good idea. Good idea. I would also say a good coaching position for you would be synchronized swimming coach. That'd be a good one. But yoga is probably the best one, right? Chest and crotch yoga. I want to teach you my special brand of chest and crotch yoga. Okay? So I'm going to have to, obviously, this is going to require me to invade your privacy a little bit. It's okay. Relax. This is completely legitimate chest and crotch yoga. Okay? Competitive nude twister. Also a good thing to train her in. It's ultra rare that I see something, not even someone. I like something, not even someone. Don't overanalyze it, Ampianic. Trust your quadrumate, Sarah ISFP. Even if he's going to have good advice for an ENTJ, it's probably not going to be an ENTP. Although my love advice is fantastic. Don't get me wrong about that. So yeah. Advocate that she take chest and crotch yoga lessons from you is an excellent suggestion. Hey, I'm giving out free lessons in my special chest and crotch yoga. Hi, Kitty Freshness Pants. You decided to join the live stream. Thank you for deciding to join the live stream. I am so flattered. I am so flattered by your presence. Oh my goodness. Oh my gracious. Oh yes. Oh yes. You know who I consider an important kitty friend? This kitty right here. I've already treated her like an important kitty friend too, haven't I? Yes, I have. Well, maybe not always, but most of the time. Uh-oh, somebody's in love. Ampianic, you don't love her yet. I said I loved Rachel before I actually loved her. Now I know what it's like to actually be in love. It makes you moist as a pound cake. Let me tell you. You know what you could do, Hambo, is even better than that? Dress rehearsal for volunteering at the Senior Citizen Center with each of you playing the role of the senior citizen in turn. That sounds like something for which you need a dress rehearsal, right? I think we're onto something here, Hambone. Advocate to her that you both volunteer at the Senior Citizen Center. Senior Citizen Center. Senior Center. Senior Citizen Center. Okay? But tell her, you don't feel comfortable going in there without any practice. And you'd like to practice bathing an old person with each of you taking turns playing the role of the old person. You bathe her first, then she can bathe you. After you're done bathing each other, make sure you get down in there and really clean it, good. My guess is probably something will end up happening by the end of that process. An actor making people guess eccentric or insane. Going with eccentric. That's a nice turn of phrase there, Cedric Beachy. Well written, well typed in with your fingers. My cat is an ISFP, okay? So they'll both be clean, correct. Yes. They will both be clean by the end of that. And then they'll go volunteer at the senior center, obviously, which is cool, you know. That's good. Okay, so I really need a short break here. I need to take a cigarette break. I'm going to smoke a cigarette, a very part of a cigarette. I'm going to ask if you, I'm also going to get another non-alcoholic beer, open it, and begin to consume it. These things, they disappear like water down the drain of the water disappearing drain. So you can briefly chat amongst yourselves, and I will be right back. I think it's fair to say that if I drank as much beer as I drank non-alcoholic beer, I would have an alcohol problem. Which is interesting because, of course, I do have an alcohol problem, which is why I drink non-alcoholic beer. That's not an L at the end, Winston's mom of this book. It's an exclamation point. Guy, it's Giai space Fong exclamation point. Let's see what it's about. It's about the fall and liberation of Saigon. Good point. I found Bacon. Good point. Ask her for advice on a complicated matter. Ask her to explain her position on free will and determinism. Pretty depressing book, looks like. I don't know much of anything about it, but this looks depressing. It's one of my dad's books, obviously. I tell you what looks a lot less depressing. This book here. This book looks a lot less depressing. It's called Avni Aventry. It must be used, I guess. Yeah. Aventure District Le Gaulois Chez Le Helvets. House of Helvets. Let's see what this book's about. This book is copyright 1970, but this printing is 1988. Interesting. I think it might be like How to Learn to Speak French book. I don't know. Well, you show her this book and ask her to explain to you what it's all about. Why is this book all in French, she said. Well, Cedric Vici, I'm not saying the determinism question is one that's of particularly great interest to me because, as you indicate there, the core of its argumentation chain makes argumentation itself irrelevant. After all, with determinism, we're all trapped beyond the bounds of history. Nobody wants to be trapped beyond the bounds of history. Not any one person wants that. Let's see. We need to get past the introduction. It's a long introduction. Scenes from the Old Stone Age. Yes, scenes from the Old Stone Age. Chaotian, 60 miles of Peking, is in a gorge at the edge of a high Mongolian plateau bordering the Great Plain of Peking. Through this gorge flows a stream down to the plain. In the Silurian chalk hills forming an anticlinal, a large rock shelter was produced by many recurring falls of rock, and successive generations of Peking men, a human type closely related to Pithecanthropus of Java, lived there for many thousands of years. And here they are. Here they are. You can see them. I don't do that much, at least not consciously. This is those people that they're talking about. Look at all the birds. Look at all the deers and stuff. Oh, your emotions aren't weakness, Ampianek. Secretly, they're your greatest strength inside of your heart. Poland. Well, I have complete confidence in your ability to screw in a light bulb. Look at these people. Don't they look like they're having fun? Don't these people look fun? Don't you want to go hang out with these guys? I do. I want to hang out with these guys. I want to hang out with these guys down here. What you doing? Don't just banging some rocks together? Why? I don't know. Just what the hell? Why not? You know? We're putting some sticks together. Yeah, we're doing that too. Look, we got tetherball and everything. We got tetherball. I invented tetherball. I'm the inventor of tetherball. No, we invented tetherball first. I'm playing something over here. What is this thing I got? What's this thing on a stick? Oh, yeah, it's fun. We're such an inventive people. This must be like, you know, they've got stations set up with activities. No, Hambone, that's not gonna work. Okay? Look, the cool thing about this is they've got stations, they've got different activities, they've got interpretive dance over here. You can see interpretive dance. Kyle, don't do anything crazy, okay? Just chill out. Wow, look at these guys. They're fun. We're attacking a she-bear in her den. We're attacking a she-bear in her den. We're attacking a she-bear in her den. That's what it says. Here, everybody go. Charge, yeah. Rawr. Oh, look, there's some dogs up there on the top. They're having fun. Look at these guys. This is what I'm curious about. Don't do that, Cloud. I just said don't do anything dumb. What happened to her? Did she get arrows in her? Did somebody throw spears into her accidentally? Did someone throw spears into her accidentally? Is that what happened to her? I want to know. I want to know if she's friendly fire. Oh, sorry, Mary. Oh, sorry, I threw a spear into you. Oh, geez, sorry, Mary. Sorry. All three of us threw our spears into you. We were aiming for that big thing next to you. It's already dead, you liars. Hey, you guys, let's climb up here in this tree. We're going to throw these sticks at these deers. You want to join us? You want to climb up in the tree with us? We're going to throw sticks at these deers. Oh, how adorable. What an odd place for their rhinoceros nest. Marty, right here in the middle of the valley, we're going to build our rhinoceros nest. And we are going to have the most beautiful rhinoceros baby. And we're going to keep it in its nest way too long. Come on, Mom, let me out of the nest. I'm a big rhinoceros now. You stay in that fucking nest. Oh, sorry. Uh-oh. No, look what's happening to this guy. He's totally going to get stepped on by the woolly mammoth. I was talking with Rachel the other day about woolly mammoths. I don't know if you're aware of this, but woolly mammoths arbitrarily put the word woolly in front of everything in their culture. So it's like they have a bowl of soup. They're called like woolly soup for no reason, really. Oh my gosh. I think this picture here celebrates the invention of the high five. Look here. You can see him practicing. Only one of them's getting it right, though. One was like pointing up, and the other one's like, no, open palm like this. Like this. You're doing it wrong. This lion's like, I'm totally going to eat those guys. I'm going to eat that little baby guy over there. This one looks delicious. Oh, yeah. I'm going to eat that guy right there. Wow, he's so small compared to the big guy. I'm not sure if they got proportions right here, but I'm going to eat that one for sure. Let's see what other pictures we got. Ooh la la. Now here we got a scene. First of all, it looks like she's on the mic, okay? I think she's rapping, and these guys are all like showing off in the background. Like, we're not looking at you chicks at all. We're just strutting around here naked and shooting our bows and arrows, counting our arrows, throwing our spears. These are all like, oh, we're just over here all naked singing croaky and something wrong with my head. I don't know what the hell's wrong with my head. What is wrong with her head? What are you doing, lady? What is this lady doing? It's like she's just hitting this vagina rock with a stick. Like, what are you doing? Her arm's kind of at a weird angle, right? But she's just like, I gotta beat the shit out of this rock. That's a good one. Okay, so just zip, yeah, it's got a zipper on the bottom. You'll see. Just zip right up the middle there, and what you're going to see, yeah, it just comes right off. Yeah, looks like a map of Texas. Right. Teaching people how to skin animals. Well, I've written a novel called Gospel of the Pantheon. It's about neither of those things. I also wrote a grammar book called The Orderly World of Grammar. You know, it's crazy. This fish was in this guy's claw a second ago. But that guy just like, pow, grabbed it with a spear. And this bird's like, what? What happened to my fish? Pretty exciting. I like Gospel of the Pantheon. I think it's a good book. The grammar book's great. How good a novel is a little harder to say than the grammar. The grammar book just teaches you how to do grammar by way of sentence diagramming. It's not like not my idea or anything. I'm presenting sentence diagramming in a certain order and with certain kind of scripting it out verbally to teach grammar. It's very effective, especially to teach NTPs or even STPs about grammar. It's a very TI way of learning grammar. Yeah, you're right about that, Bacon. That was very skillful of that guy. What's Gospel about? It's about gods and mortals and stuff. I'm pretty sure if you Google Orderly World of Grammar and Strauss, you can find someplace that has a free PDF of it. Same thing with the Gospel of the Pantheon, probably. If you Google Gospel of the Pantheon and Strauss, you can find a free PDF of it. I like McKenna. Does McKenna like you back? Have we asked that question yet, Matias Sanchez? I know what you need, Matias Sanchez. Don't deny it. You need one of these. Pow! The Hanged Man. Pow! The Hanged Man, Matias Sanchez. That's your card for today. Pow! The Hanged Man. One, two, free. You're getting a card right now. You better watch out. You better watch yourself because the card coming your way right now. Here we go. Good or bad? What will the tarot say about your day today? We'll find out. One, two, fray. Pow! It's the Nine of Rods. Nine of Rods. Bing is failing you? Huh. Okay, well, I'll find it. I don't know. I'll find it. Rory Scovel. Cedric Beachy. Here you go. Pow. Page of Cups. You get the Page of Cups. You get the Page of Cups. Yeah. You get the Page of Cups. Yeah. You get the Page of Cups. Yeah. You get the Page of Cups. Dawson K., are you speaking blasphemy against cheese? You know that's not allowed. Nine of Rods, what's it mean? I'm going to read it to you right now, Mr. 123. 9 of rods. Ongoing battle fatigue, strength of will, nearly there, close to success, holding out. That's your life. Live it, love it, learn it. That the tarot speaks. It's Maria Sanchez. Okay, Winston's mom. I, as the preparer of the live stream, determine how other people's names are pronounced. Like Dawson K's name is actually pronounced Dawson J. Little known fact. You lost a letter from the alphabet there, Dawson. Okay? You've been demoted from K to J. Sorry. You got demoted. Did I already do a card for you, Dawson K? I don't think so. Here you go. Piao. Ooh, the Emperor. Dawson K. You got the Emperor. Look at that. You got the world in your hand. Just like in the theme song to Growing Pains. The K is silent. Oh. I've silenced your K, Dawson. That's it. I'm silencing your K. Sarah ISFP, this card is for you. Piao. 8 of Pentacles. You're an old guy with a big beard. And you got 8 pentacles. You're loving it. You're like, I love all 8 of my pentacles. They're fantastic. Yes, Bacon, that's correct. 8 of Pentacles. New job, craftsmanship, hard work, dedication, concentration, diligence. Don't give up. Don't give up the dream you're dreaming. You can dream it forever or night. Bacon is sizzling indeed. Yes, you do. You've got a beard. You've also got some really pretty cool red pants. I don't think anybody's going to diss those red pants. It brings a whole Santa Claus effect to what you got going on here, I think. Nobody's going to diss those red pants. Everybody's going to agree. Those are some red pants, motherfucker. When you walk in a room, you're going to be like, damn, you got some red pants on. You know, I think you know what I mean. Let's see. Who else wants a card? Who else wants a card? Bacon, you get a card right here. Ooh, you are the Knight of Wands. You are knighting my wands. You're knighting the hell out of my wands right now, Bacon. Let's see. Let's see what that means. You're hasty but open-minded, adventurous, energetic, taking risks, hot-tempered, travel and success. You're knighting my wands. Rachel Lapalosa, my precious bucket of angel wing fairy dust, banana pudding. Of all the sparkling bowls of banana pudding, Rachel, you are the most banana and the most sparkly. And that's why you get this card right here. Boom. Look at that. The world. This is you. Rachel, I told you not to show your boobs on camera. I can totally see it right there. Boom. I can see the nip and everything. That's not okay. Oh, wait. Don't worry. It's just a card. It's not actually you. Looks just like you. You know how you're always holding fiery things in your hand and raising them to the sky and covering your purple sash clad badge? It's just like you. The moon looks enormous behind you right now, too. I must say. My precious, precious, precious bucket of precious. I just completely run out of words for for my glorious wonder of regality that is Rachel Lapalosa. You totally deserve this card. You totally deserve it. I'm sure you can get the PDF, can't you? It costs money or something? I don't get any money from anything, so I don't know. You know you my world, girl. That's how I got Rachel in the first place, was using that pickup line. I said, you know you my world, girl. And she just melted into my arms. Thank you, Hambone, for Pia and the Pia. Now, looky here. I pulled this for Horse Mumbler. It's a 2-card whammo. You got the King of Cups, and you got this guy, the 10 of Rods. Let's see what they mean. King of Cups means compassionate, finding balance between heart and mind, affectionate, emotionally balanced, easygoing, tolerant. But the 10 of Rods means overburdened, obligation, burned out, uphill struggle, taking on too much, end in sight. Keep going. Keep going. Lack of fun right now, but fun is just around the corner, buddy. You are going to experience the fun of fun times. Okay? I want you to know that, Horse Mumbler. I want you to know the fun of reality hitting you in the face like a fun pack right to the kisser. Rachel Apollosa makes me moist as pound cake. Moist as pound cake. Moist as pound cake. Everybody wants to be moist as pound cake. Moisten up yourselves now. That's half rap, half what's it called in church? Sermon. Half rap, half sermon. I want to have a choir of ladies saying, "Preach the truth, Eric." In between. Because I'm channeling my inner empress right now, and she's menstruating a little bit. That's why I'm preaching the gospel of moistening. Moisten yourselves like pound cake. Allow your inner pound cakes to be served on a plate of moisture. Pour melted butter on top of it to moisten it further. And once it has been fully moistened, then moisteningly put it into your moistness of your mouth. And let the moisture of your mouth moisten it further until it moistens away into nothing but moisture. That is your destiny. Card for the month for 1, 2 free. Card for the month says moisten me. You got the Page of Cups here, see? You got the Page of Cups. Let's find out what the Page of Cups says. It says happy or important news, inner child, idealism, sensitivity, naivety, becoming emotionally mature, affectionate. Sounds kind of like my month. I'm feeling like my month. Why are you using esoteric things like those cards? Is this insanely eccentricity or something else? Look, tarot cards comprise magical thinking, a format of magical thinking. I don't use magical thinking in general to make decisions or to draw conclusions about certain things, but I afford it its due place in the universe, which is to say it's one modality and fits into my meta frame and is ultimately subsumed by a greater both rationality and post-rationality that expresses primarily as behaviors rather than exactly affirmations or negations. Things that I need to affirm or negate exist in one frame of reference, and things that are just magical thinking, well, magical thinking definitionally doesn't need to be affirmed or negated. It just is. So treat it as such. You know, does that answer your question? I think it probably does. I think that basically covers the ground you wanted me to cover. Yes. Fine. I'm just eccentric, I guess. Define metaframe. Well, it's a intellectual construct that's used to manage multiple other intellectual constructs. Each of which has to be a frame really has to have within it its own metric and criterion. So in other words, a frame is that which validates things as legitimate or illegitimate according to a criterion. A metaframe is managing multiple of those. People sometimes say they don't believe in magical thinking, but act as if they do. Well, I mean, I think that's a problem with the word belief there. People exercise magical thinking or they don't. Context in which they do and what they do with the conclusions that they draw by magical thinking are different matters, you know? Well, being aware of multiple perspectives doesn't mean affirming multiple perspectives. So I see very much detached from any idea the decision whether you're affirming or negating it. So if you say to me, do you believe me? Yeah, I will, for certain kinds of things, maybe ask, well, am I arguing that I believe me? Yeah? Which tends to throw people for a loop, right? But that's kind of the best answer to the question. Do I believe Mia is, well, am I arguing that I believe Mia right now? For some reason, if I am, if I'm affirming that, then yeah, sure, I'm affirming that. But the thing is, that doesn't mean I don't have definitive positions on some other things. Are you affirming Mia? Fuck no, I never affirm Mia. It's sometimes an answer as well. It really depends on the kind of thing, you know? That's why one needs a meta frame to manage those kind of contradictions. What is the probability of that? Very high. Most of these cards will apply to you. If you want to play that game, Cedric Beachy, you have correctly tied into the engine of tarot. You've caught me. I don't have any magical powers. I don't have any magical tarot powers. You caught me. God damn it, Cedric. Why are you always just unmasking me like this? I don't appreciate it. Is Mia contagious? Mia can be contagious. It could be counter-contagious too, depending on the context. A metaframe sounds like a way to balance paradox. A metaframe sounds like an answer to an unanswerable question. Well, I just place it contextually within the metaframe, and that way I don't have to actually resolve this contradiction in any meaningful sense, is the proper critique of the kind of metaframe I sometimes manifest. But because I'm presenting the proper critique to it and sort of spiking it out in advance, saying, yes, I'm aware of that, and yet I'm still incorporating a metaframe because there isn't really any alternative. You either actively metaframe it or you passively metaframe it. It's relatively rare for me to have, well, put it this way. It's very rare for me to use magical powers. No, I think mostly, I mean, it can occasionally. I'm pretty Mia resistant from external vectors. I tend to hopefully relieve a certain amount of Mia in others in my extrovertedly intuiting upon the world in this fashion. React to this statement: capitalism is corrupt. And is that what you'd like me to react with? I mean, the correct response to it would be to require you to mean something more. So say, rephrase that as capitalism has been corrupted by, and fill in the blank. I metaframe with paradox by acknowledging both passive and active dualities. Did I? Well, that's a pretty fancy sentence. It's a very fancy sentence, so I'm going to assume it's correct. Think about it through, though. These cards would shift the mental focus of people who take them seriously. Well, I have nothing but positive interpretations of all these cards. I to the extent that I present meanings from these tarot cards to people, I present them in the most positive way I can imagine. And I tell people right away that whatever magic there is to be attained through these needs to be consistent with the slabs. And the slabs want what is good and just and true and right and fair. So, if it appears to doom you to something or whatever, that's not correct at all. It's always going to be for me anyway, you're always going to get a positive spin on tarot. That's just how I do it, though. I mean, whatever. I do tarot for this metaframe concept. My girlfriend's into tarot, so I like it too. That's basically it. Is that okay? Is that good enough? I'm not sure. So basically, yeah. I love my girlfriend. My girlfriend likes tarot. Therefore, I like tarot. It's commutative property, I think. Is that what it's called? Positively spin death. That one is beyond me. Fortunately, by the time when that happens, it's too late to spin it anyway. I can't spin it after the fact, so I don't have to worry about being able to spin it. Oh, you mean pull a card for the metaframe? Okay, I'll pull a card for the metaframe. That's an interesting concept. I like that. Pulling a card for the metaframe. Ooh, what's happening to the metaframe? Betrayal? The metaframe is being betrayed? No. What it shows here instead, you got to be spin this positively about the metaframe, is that if you get too attached to the metaframe, it can betray you. It can allow you to justify things that aren't justifiable. But with proper detachment, and you see here, the tower is not threatened. Wait, there's fire inside of it. Never mind. Okay, there's some fire inside, but that could be good fire. You don't know if it's good fire. It could be just a fireplace. Look. You just betrayed the metaframe in the moment you do the card? Okay, well, that explains it. Horse Mumble has been betraying the metaframe on the side, which has shaped the tarot somewhat, somehow. Okay? Frame the metaframe physical with your own picture. Well, look, that's for the metaframe. That's not for the metaphysical. At the Church of the Slabs, the great slab master will reveal this week's cards throughout the service, leaving a message for the people to ponder each week. Right. Here is for the Church of the Slabs. Ooh. Doesn't look so great for the Church of the Slabs. Waiting? Is this waiting? Church of the Slabs are waiting for the great slabs to reveal themselves? Possibly that. I think that's fair analysis. Let's see. What is the mood of the great slabs right now? Mood of the slabs. I think the mood of the slabs is they're a little bit impatient with me right now, actually. I think I'm being a little too self-indulgent right now. You can't say much about the mood of the slabs. Your guess is as good as mine. Wheel of Fortune, y'all. Wheel of Fortune on the mood of the slabs, y'all. You don't get to know. Truth about that be denied to you. Talk to the hand, not to the face. Give you a tarot for a poem. All right, 1, 2, 3. Here's your poem. Poem part number 1. It's going to be about the hanged man. It's going to be about making a decision. You don't know. You got to wait. You got to sit around. You got to hang upside down indefinitely while babies throw things at you. Flying babies are always showing up around here. Okay, so you got number 1 part of your poem, hanged man. Whatever shall happen, suspense. You start right off the bat with some suspense. Number 2 part of your poem. Ooh, soulmates. Soulmates. Ooh, sensual. 2 of Cups. Get those 2 cups up in there, okay, in your palm. Next card. Okay, I will. I'll do that, Cedric, next. Okay. And the last card in this poem is going to be the flag card. Flag card. What that means, you need 4 cards. Okay. So your 4th card, you got your flag card. Your flag card just means, remember, that this is just a deck of cards. And then your last card, your 4th stanza or whatever it is, the Lovers. Looks like somebody consummated something with someone. What? Okay, so here's your 4 cards again. You got your Piao, your Hanged Man, your Piao, your Soulmates, your Piao, something else, and your Piao, the Lovers, making loves. Oh yeah, tender. All right, Cedric Beachy says, pick a card for the next minute, but don't show the card. Tell your guess what the card is based on the experience of that minute, and then see if the card shows up. I like that test a lot, Cedric Beachy. I like that test. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card for the next minute. So I'm going to wait for the minute to change here on the clock. Okay, when it turns 12:45, I'm going to pull a card, and that card will be from 12:45 to 12:46. Okay, that's what that card will count as. And then at 12:46, I will say, this was my experience that minute, and we'll see if it matches up with the card, what card it would be, okay? Oh, change the time. Okay, good. Here's the card. I pulled it. I'm not looking at it. Didn't see it. Don't know what it is. It's right here. It's face down. I can't see it. Okay, let's see it yourself right here. Here's the card. Here's the kitty. She'll testify that I did not see it or look at it. And the minute is continuing on right now. Okay. What kind of minute is this? It's a long minute, that's for sure. It's one of the longer minutes I recall in my recent history of minutes. The slabs can only ever be contextually understood, Bacon. They're like the yams in Kendrick Lamar's song, King Kunta. It's not possible to understand them non-contextually. Right, I don't think I would never dream of testing them. I just play a little bit at I would never dream of testing the slabs. That would be silly. They they don't take kindly to that. I agree with you, Sean Ryan Barron. Well, that minute's up. I would say, that's an interesting. I will come to your poem in a second here, 1, 2, 3. But first, I'm going to see about this minute test. Okay, so that was a complicated minute. It involved being checked a little bit by Sean Ryan Barron there at the end. That's probably the definitive takeaway of it. Reminded by the slabs to watch myself a little more carefully, to not engage in any kind of hubris or self-satisfaction. I'm going to try to minimize that sort of stuff, I guess. That's my main takeaway from the time. Earlier in the thing was kind of exemplifying the thing that I had to take away about, I guess. So I would say this is going to be like the hasty card or something. Let me look. Jeffrey Sewell. The fuck is going on here? It is? Whatever shall we do about it? I would say the card would be maybe the Knight of Wands. I'm guessing the Knight of Wands for this card. Knight of Wands. The Magician. It's the Magician. Well, maybe we're both wrong, Cedric Beachy, and maybe you're the one who has a secret terror power. You thought about that? Hmm. Hmm. Let's see what the magician means generally. Maybe it means something similar to the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands, which I picked, says being hasty, open-minded, adventurous, energetic, taking risks, hot-tempered, travels, and success. It really isn't what I felt like the minute was. The magician is influence, willpower, resourcefulness, using intellect, having the abilities needed to be successful. That's probably a better description of the minute, frankly. It's a little more self-serving, I guess. But I'd say the card described the minute better than I did. So I guess, I guess the card's right. Psych, nah, how you doing, dog? I'm doing well. And how are you doing, dog? I think that the tarot cards won that round, Cedric Beachy. I think you proved that I don't know any shit thing really about tarot. And tarot proved that it knows about what that minute was. You know? I never really claimed to know anything about tarot, okay? I've never claimed to be a tarot expert. I've never claimed to have any tarot magic powers or anything like that. All right, now let me read your poem. The choice of our life is ours to decide. Moment by moment, only love does collide. The game that we play one day will end, but for now, my lover, we can simply pretend. That's excellent meter. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, I love how metrically sound it is. That warms my meter heart. Okay? It makes me want to sing a super gaff song to it, like you want me to, okay? Shit's gonna get ultra, mega, ultra gaff up in here right now. You want gaff? You got gaff. Alright? It's coming. It's coming your way. Let's see. The choice of our life is ours to decide. Moment by moment, only love does collide. The game we play one day will end, but for now, my lover, we can simply pretend. Oh yeah. It ends with oh yeah. Most good songs end with oh yeah. I think we can agree about that, right? Is anybody going to disagree? They either end with oh yeah or tonight. I think that's probably the prerequisite to being a good song, ultimately. What a great little thing you made there, Rachel. What kind of a thing is that? How did you make that thing? I like that little symbol that you got there. I like that. I don't think it's that kind of song, 1, 2, 3. I gotta smoke a cigarette anyway. Also, I hear my dad snorting outside. He might be coming to talk to me. You guys can hang out with Kitty while I'm gone. Sweet urination, carry me away. Carry me away in a sea of yellow wonder. Sweet, sweet urination, carry me away. Today is the day I authored that poem. It's a day that will go down in history as a great day for everyone. Remember the day Eric came up with that great poem about urination? You'll say, I remember. You'll say in return, I remember well that day. That was the day that Eric wrote the poem about sweet, sweet urination. It was such a good poem. I enjoyed it a lot. That's what you'll say when you think of this day many years from today. Oh, hey. No way, yes way. There's some food for you, my kitty friend. My frisky feathered feline friend. Are you my frisky feathered feline friend? I think you are. Last I checked, you were. Hopefully you shall remain so. I'm getting non-drunk on drinking all these non-alcoholic beers. No, I was peeing, actually, is what I was doing. But yeah, I'm getting non-drunk off these non-alcoholic beers. I'm drinking so many of them. It's just really hard to stop drinking them. They drink just like regular beers, you know? Phoebe wanted some lunch, so I got her some lunch. I'm kind of thinking I need to get some lunch here pretty quick, too. I just think I'm going to draw this to a close. Rachel, or what are you up to right now? How long have I drank non-alcoholic beer? About 6 months or so, 7 months. Yeah, I started drinking it in the summer after not having any kind of beer-like thing for years. It's so good. It's just like, I don't know what to say about it. It's just so damn good. It's like, Saturday, I'm hanging out, drinking beer. I'm not really drinking beer. Yeah, I know. That's where they got the band name from, actually. Would the placebo effect still apply? No, I mean, I guess the first couple times I drank it, I sort of had a lot of sympathetic feelings that go correlate with beer, and I recognize a lot of the things, and maybe think, feel a little, it does make you feel a little like sleepy and stuff. It still makes you feel bloated. You still have those kind of like beer burps and stuff like that, and maybe a little placebo effect as well. But I can tell it doesn't have alcohol in it because, I don't get drunk. And I know well what getting drunk feels like. I like a lot of different kind of cheeses. I like your basic range of cheddars best probably, but I eat all kinds of cheese. Why did you go teetotal? Oh, well, I was a drunk. That's why. And couldn't handle alcohol, so I had to quit completely. And things have been great since, basically. It's the thing I have to do for everything else to keep working. Everything will go to shit if I drink alcohol. That's the basic bottom line of the matter. And so I don't. Thanks, 123. I appreciate your affirmation. It was the most important thing I ever did. So, Rachel and I have the distinct pleasure living in this day and age of being able to drink beer without it having alcohol in it. And it's great. I love it. No, it makes me so happy that I can drink beer. It's like I couldn't drink alcoholic beer. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't pull it off. I was just too much of a drunk. I drink too much of it, I drink too much of this too. But it's fine. It's fine to drink too much of this. It's crazy, just delightful to me. I really don't miss alcohol. Occasionally, I feel like I miss wine a little bit, but just something I have to live without. I feel grateful that I have beer back in my life. Non-alcoholic beer is a godsend, really, because I love the taste of beer. And this stuff right here, this Klaus-Toller dry hopped, tastes so much like an IPA. It's a regular IPA. It's crazy. Non-alcoholic wine, I've never tried it, but my dad, who also went through a phase where he drank non-alcoholic stuff because he quit drinking for a while. He says the non-alcoholic wine is just terrible. I don't think I'm interested really in trying non-alcoholic wine, but I do like non-alcoholic beer a lot. What is the future for typology? I don't know. I would say the future for typology is, well, look, it informs a lot of the stuff I say in a lot of different ways. So it's, and what I'm saying is, I'm trying to at least highlight veins of truth and clarity that others can grab onto, cop, exploit for their own purposes, and hopefully that those veins of truth and clarity will disseminate and render the landscape, the metaphysical landscape, more fit. I think I have an addictive personality. What other personality traits correlate with that? Well, first of all, I don't tend to think about personalities expressing in traits so much as expressing in process channels, kind of. Extroverted intuition as a dominant function, or extroverted sensing as a dominant function, makes you an action type. And I think my basic modality is act first, think later. So it's something one has to mature out of or into a more optimal manifestation of it. I definitely have an addictive personality, and I've had to manage my addictions carefully. So, which means basically I can indulge in things like coffee and cigarettes and marijuana, which is a pretty minor kind of drug. Well, I mean, I think the big five is too metaphorical to meaningfully articulate things about human personality, because people don't have those kind of attributes. So the whole thing is based on a metaphor. People execute processes. They don't have attributes like conscientiousness. Now, you can describe a set of correlated behaviors as matching up with something that you then deem conscientiousness, but you're almost certainly like playing Texas bullseye fallacy. Like it's getting it backwards is what it's doing. It's getting it backwards. you got to do process analysis on personality. You can't do correlation analysis and be successful with it. And especially not when you have a metaphorical frame like attribute having, which is not what people are and not how people be. So it's like what you want to do is say, by what process is this individual being right now? And what indicators can we see about the process of being in general? How they, which distinct process, how can we distinguish between processes of being? What's the relationship between those different processes? Is it, for example, complementary, proportional, inversely proportional, something like that, right? Exclusive. And then you can actually start getting away from the metaphor. We need to move more towards English prime, essentially, and away from the illusion of the be verb. English prime tells us that we express language most correctly when we use subject, verb, predicate kind of language and not passive voice, and eliminate the use of be verbs, which draw equivalencies but don't really convey anything meaningful beyond that. So, I mean, the thing is, I would look to the frame then. If you don't think of it that way, if you tend to think of it in terms of attributes and things like that, in my opinion, I would say look to the frame and say, is this actually a good frame? Is this going to be a good way of understanding what humans are, how humans be, and why, and if humans have personalities or whatever else you want to think about it. I don't know. That's entirely up to you. I mean, we can look around and see people who are open and extroverted and recognize how those patterns of behavior affect the right. Sure. But the thing is, say, do those shortcuts correlate with addiction? Is to, I think, miss the point. It's probably some other shortcuts that are not shortcuts that correlate with those addictions that we can actually describe, and to mislabel it as a mia because it's a more commonly used shortcut is not necessarily a good thing to do, I guess. I mean, I do think you have certain predisposed tendencies. I don't know why they are there. If this, I mean, presumably genetics play some role in it. Why are there 16 types? Illusion of the beaver. It's a great potential rock song. Why are there 16 types and not 160? Because there are 4 planes of existence. Is the answer. The 4 planes of existence are internal physical, internal metaphysical, external physical, and external metaphysical. And type, personality, channel of attention, link, and are what they are because of the nature of those 4 fields. So, for example, it's possible to prioritize acting on a metaphysical field or acting on a physical field. But regardless, that has to be prioritizing acting on an external metaphysical or physical field because it's action. That's kind of what defines it as action. You can't. I can act on an internal metaphysical field all I want, but it won't have any impact, which means it's not really acting in that case. I can act on a physical internal field if I want to try, but it won't do anything at all. You can see the lack of impact there. Thinking that my arm's not broken won't make it not broken, right? So there are 4 fields. The functions come from those 4 fields. In other words, there are 2 action functions because there are 2 fields that comprise, in which putting information comprises action. The physical external field and the metaphysical external field. Okay, well, I mean, Cedric Vici, it's like The Big Five, when combined with an IQ test, is the best predictor of future life outcomes. Okay, so you successfully got 2 tests that, if you do well on these skills here, that correlates well with life success as defined by tests that are prioritizing those particular life skills. I mean, why is that success or failure? Best predictor of future life outcomes. Meaning what? Like, what kind of job you're going to get or something? Why is that the defining quality of your life? Why is that a good way to define a person's life? You know? How is that? How is being able to establish some sort of empirical link between some score on this variety of skills tests and self-reporting tests and future life outcomes that are defined as normatively successful or not successful by the same people who are making the test? It's like, what is this telling us again? What is this predicting exactly? How much money you make or something? Okay, great. I agree. My willingness and interest in taking tests that prove that I'm a go-getter who's going to go get money and stuff are going to likely prove that I'm a go-getter going to get money. That's true. Now, the thing is, if you combine the Big Five with an IQ test for me, you'd find, I don't know what you'd find. I mean, would it falsify the test if all of a sudden it didn't match up? No, it wouldn't. Is it more empirically sound than just throwing random shit at a wall? Probably, but just about anything is. Bullshit, Bacon. There is a normative quality built into the Big Five that is unavoidable. When you use a word like conscientiousness, it has a normative quality that you cannot avoid. That's one of the bullshit things about Big Five. It makes normative that which should be non-normative. And nobody can win this point against me. And on this point here, nobody has yet to even offer a counter argument. I've heard some various arguments about Big Five that are good and bad or whatever, but no one's made any counter arguments to this. It renders personality into something that is normative when it should be non-normative. There's no disputing that. That's why you get, from me, a sassy butt wiggle. You see what you just got there? You see what just happened to you? You got a sassy butt wiggle. Is that what you wanted? That's what you got. Feel that sass. Feel that sass going through the internet, hitting you in the face. I'm gonna smoke this cigarette here. I'm feeling goofy today. I used to visit all the sad and gay places, those distant K traces, those you can walk away where you've been washed away by too many through the day, 12 o'clock tales. The friends I knew had sad and solemn gray faces, those distant K traces. Meow 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 meow. All right, Rachel, you're a blind squirrel. I'm just kidding, baby. You know you're my adoration perfection morsel of perfect perfection. Um, I'm basically a free-spirited, unachieving, difficult hippie. You're my free-spirited, unachieving, difficult hippie, baby. You are my free-spirited, unachieving, difficult hippie. I love you. My goodness. With my heart. That's the most anything ever. Eric song that makes up on the fly. I do make up a lot of songs. That's true. I make up a lot of songs. Bit jarring. I actually have very pointy hip bones. You got to watch out for my wiggle. I'll stab a passerby if I do the hula dance randomly while walking down the sidewalk, and I'll lacerate them with my pointiness of my hip. I hope someone hand animates a host Eric cartoon someday. I do too, and I hope they endow me with knife sharp pointy hips that can stab passersby. And they go, ow, I've been stabbed. No, that was just my hip bone. I'll say, it's okay, you're fine. Nobody ever got injured by a hip bone before. That's not true. Yes, okay. I do owe Steve his headphones. That's true. I have been lagging on it. Boy, the cojones, huh? It's like you guys got one complaint, right? One legitimate complaint. You're hammering it to death. I've had shit tons of legitimate complaints. You just ignore them all. But I will follow through. I'll send him his headphone. You know what I'm saying? It's absurd to the degree of obscenity. Right? Right? Yeah, razor hips is correct. Don't hormones alter personality? Well, if they alter it, then presumably it's part of a range of personality, because personality, those aspects of the self definition, they don't change over the course of one's life. So if one has a spread of hormonal mia, then presumably that spread of hormonal mia is part of one's personality. And the fact that there's a range wouldn't be altering it. It's either part of personality or it's not. What made you write Pantheon? Thinking about art a lot at the time. Thinking a lot about art and aesthetics, media, expression, language, meaning, stuff like that. A lot of the same things I'm still thinking about, but I think nowadays that most of the questions that I was concerned with a lot in the past have been resolved adequately for me. So I guess that's the difference between me then and now. What art? I was thinking about just art making, aesthetics, the philosophy of what makes things good or bad art, and stuff like that. And I was basically, I didn't know it at the time, but I was trying to understand NI, how something could be objectively good, but not provably so, or not reducibly so. And that's basically introverted intuition. I understand things a lot more clearly now with cognitive functions. I have myself more as an object of analysis and less as an observer outside doing analysis. And that's the key distinction that cognitive functions have provided me, is the ability to do process analysis on the self in a way that doesn't make the universe egocentric, heliocentric, circling around the sun, geocentric, circling around the earth, egocentric, circling around the self. And so you mean all distinctions in personality should link back to good and evil? That's what you're trying to tell me there, Cedric? Are you sure about that? Plato would approve the perfect form which hosts any shapes our entertainment pleasures. Well, thanks, Winston's mom. A general agreement of well emotionalized universality or whatever. No, I mean, I would say it's that which is NI resonant, NIFE basically. Things that resonate and pop are NIFE ultimately. So, like, Call Me Maybe is an example of a very good pop song. It is well constructed, it hits on a lot of different levels, and ultimately, you can't really deconstruct what makes it so great. But you can acknowledge that it's going to be there forever. People are going to still be listening to that song 100 years from now, just like people are still listening to some Mozart songs, Other shit is disposable and just disappears in the well of time. And you can learn down the road what was universally resonant and what was not by what people still listen to. Anyway, Plato's Republic states the four virtues or four cardinal virtues are wisdom, temperance, courage, and justice. You know what the hardest part for? Yeah, 3 out of 4 ain't bad is right. For me, it's the courage part that's the hard part. I think maybe for everybody. Definitionally, it's the hard part, right? It's the part that requires courage. No. Usually art that has purpose is bad art because it's particularized. Universal art is good. Particularist art is usually not. It's like that thing right there you just said, 1, 2, 3, is what made Booksmart bad. Booksmart had a chance to be a really good movie, but it became bad because it was more about its purpose than its identity. And that's exactly, it makes me go, bleh, bleh. Stop being so particularist. It's a lot of good writing in that movie, and a lot of snappy lines and stuff, and a lot of good messages that are universalist. And then it overwhelms itself by being overwritten and being too particularist in its purpose instead of letting it be what it is, It deviates from NI. I appreciate Rachel showing me. Well, you said it should be normative, meaning, I mean the term in the philosophical sense, okay? Granted, any standardized test is standardized against some norm, right? But I'm not talking about normative like that. I'm talking about normative as in there's associated with certain aspects of personality a quality of being good or desirable, and certain other aspects of being bad and undesirable. For example, neuroticism is considered as bad or undesirable, whereas conscientiousness is considered as good and desirable. I don't like that aspect of the Big Five, and nobody's ever successfully argued with me that, in fact, that normative in the philosophical sense, not in the statistic sense. Yeah. If I don't have any brains, is that what you're saying, Winston's mom? I'm not sure I like that one. I'm not sure that one's going to really fly with me. Cain and Abel in the hero's journey, every hero has an evil brother or arch enemy he must defeat through sacrifice. Really? Did I already do that part? I hope I already did that part. I don't want to go through that. So let's just make that part already done. I'm already through that part. I don't got to do that again, okay? Yeah, brain's just not aware of how much brains you have. Huh. Do I over or underestimate my amount of brains? That would be the next logical question. All right, well, this is about hour 45 minutes. I'm feeling tired out. I right, yeah, right. It got overwhelmed by its own purpose. That's what happened. It became purpose heavy, you know? Like a very special episode of a sitcom that's not funny because it talks too much about alcoholism. We all know what that's like. Back in the 80s, if you watch sitcoms and you had to watch a very special episode of one, it meant it was a not funny episode of the sitcom where they talked about a social issue. It was awful. I hated very special episodes. I always hated them. I'm here to laugh at your sitcom hilarity. Stop very special episoding me. Well, the Big Five is the very special episode of personality typing. Okay? And I don't like it. It makes me say, ugh. All right? And anything that I say, ugh, dude, you don't want anything to do with. Trust me. All right, I'm gonna call it a wrap here. I'm gonna see if my Rachel Appelos is down for a quick phone call. Uh, I love you all with all of my hearts, except for the vast majority of it, which I reserve for Rachel. But the rest of it's all over all of you guys. Okay. This is my last message to you right there.